Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Get Cinematic. This is episode 14. So this week we are going to be talking about Snapper, the man-eating turtle movie that never got made. So for those who don't know, this is a movie podcast. Every week, every episode, we discuss like a different movie. The last couple of episodes have been a little bit different. Episode 11, we did a short film, Attack of the Killer Refrigerator. Episode 12, we did The Hook of Woodland Heights. Episode 13, we did Days Before Christmas. And now we're doing Snapper. And all these have been kind of like shorter, more like short form, like short films. And then this is a documentary. So it's been a little bit different the last couple of episodes. And today, me and Jason are going to be talking about Snapper. Jacob was on the last couple, and then Jason's on this one. It's been a little bit back and forth here lately with the two of them. Scheduling's just been tough. To get everybody.
KR is so demanding. He's so demanding on the scheduling.
No, it's just been tough to get like both of you at the same time. Because like either he has something going on, either he had something going on, or you had something going on. So it's been like kind of back and forth.
Yeah. I'm usually pretty good, but man, it just toppled on me in one day. So.
But yeah, so what did you think of this documentary?
Oh man, I thought it was real interesting. Of course, visiting the the previous Savino pictures, they were cool. You could see it gradually getting better, but they were all really cool. You could tell they definitely had the film skill and talent. And then this one was taking it to a next level, and I was really impressed. The documentary was just awesome. I like it went to the animators and props that actually made the turtle, and it was like, A+ movie mechanics built, before they did the latex outer shell. So that was great to know. I felt real bad about the filmmakers because they, threw $8,000 to $10,000 into it, but they couldn't make the full movie because they needed to get the financing. But they did put up that much money to get it made to do the trailer, in a sense, put out and get it marketed.
Yeah, that's wild.
I couldn't believe that.
It's wild that they
couldn't believe that no one just even sent them a rejection notice or nothing.
Yeah, it's wild. They spent $8,000 to make a trailer, and then just nobody took notice of it.
Yeah, and the thing was, they said they had to double check or something to make sure that the actual stuff got delivered, because they weren't hearing nothing back. And I felt like it should have been at least respectful to send them something, be like, thank you, but at this time we're not interested, yada yada. At least getting some kind of feedback. Yeah, that was pretty sad that they just didn't get something to know it's being looked at,
So basically, how this all got started, though, was in college. Mark and Mike Savino and Mark Vo, they met in college. A bunch of these guys, they all lived in the same. They didn't have a frat house on the college, but they all lived in a house together. And a lot of people that they went to college with started dubbing that house the media house, because everybody that lived in that house that were going to college together, they all either worked in the film department or they worked in the radio department. So they were all media people. And they ran a public access college show that aired at the campus, and it aired a bunch of skits and stuff. And Attack of the Killer Refrigerator started out as just a skit that they made, and it aired on the college broadcast channel. And then they shot that in 1984. And then a couple of years went by, they graduated. when they were in college, they filmed like part of a skit called The Hook of Woodland Heights, but they never finished it. And when they graduated college, they all got together and like made The Hook of Woodland Heights into like a 40-minute SOV film. So those, and then in 1990, Attack of the Killer Refrigerator and The Hook of Woodland Heights were released as a double feature on a VHS tape. And so that kind of got that VHS tape. I told Jacob this in one of the other episodes, but that VHS tape is one of the top 10 rarest VHS tapes of all time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's like a sought after collector's item, the VHS double feature of those two little short films. It's like highly sought after. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, that is kind of odd. That's pretty cool though. What copy do you have?
Oh, there's a new Blu-ray.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought, but I thought, well,
yeah,
maybe
so
you
this
got the VHS, you know?
Yeah, so TerrorVision put out this Blu-ray. It's their 8th release. On the spine, there's like a little number 8. It's the 8th TerrorVision release. I think I have all of their releases.
Okay.
They put out a lot of like cool sort of like SOV type stuff, 16 millimeter stuff. Like they put out like cool like movies that wouldn't typically get a good release. But yeah, this Blu-ray has Attack of the Killer Refrigerator. It has The Hook of Woodland Heights. It has Days Before Christmas. It has Snapper, and it has commentary tracks for Attack of the Killer Refrigerator, Hook of Woodland Heights, and Days Before Christmas. It has like a making of documentary. There's a pretty good little release. I watched everything on the disc.
Yeah. What I seen was really cool. You really seen the step up from Refrigerator to Christmas.
Yeah. Well, even refrigerator to Woodland Heights was a big step up, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said earlier, it had this slowly progression of their talent. And you're like, okay, these guys got some talent. They're just needing the money, and they slowly were doing it. My goodness, they definitely had that 80s flavor too, which is hard to capture. And
I think the thing that sucks though is like, so after they did Woodland Heights, they tried to make Snapper, and it just fell through. Like because they weren't able to get the financing for it. So because Snapper fell through, that's when they made Days Before Christmas. So they made Days Before Christmas after they made the Snapper trailer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I remember him saying that, and that's when they won at the Houston Film Festival.
Yeah, they won like an award for it. They were going to try to use Days Before Christmas, I think, to try to get more recognition. Oh, it just froze up.
Yeah, that is cool. The kind of the weird suspense.
Oh yeah, it was freezing up a little bit, but I think it's back now.
Okay.
But yeah, they were going to
use the kind of strange.
They were going to use Days Before Christmas to sort of try to help get more recognition. I think maybe to help get Snapper made. I feel like that might have been part of it.
Yeah, and they had something going with the Days Before Christmas too, because it had a weird, strange feel to it at the beginning. That was like unsettling, but nothing unsettling was really kind of happening. And it was kind of like with Argento's Suspiria. Like right at the beginning, she's trying to get to the school, leaving the airport or whatever. Nothing major's really happening, but you just kind of get this unsettling feeling or something. Too bad, either one of them would be made.
Yeah, and Days Before Christmas was shot on 16 millimeter, and like Attack the Killer Refrigerator and Hook of Woodland Heights were shot on video. They were SOV movies, and Snapper was going to be 16 millimeter. Snapper would have been cool. Like, I can already see like what it would have been. Like, it would have been. It was shot on film, so it would have had like a nice look to it. It had like the creature going for it. That the creature looked pretty cool. What they had for it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they had, you know, like we were talking about that movie Alligator before, with Robert Forster, that was made in the 80s. It had that feel to it. I mean, it was a really good design and
I think
creation.
Snapper. Yeah, I think Snapper could have been that kind of movie.
Yeah, I do too. It's just, yeah, like I said, it's just a shame. I did like the fact they changed the name, the title to Snapper. I felt like that was more fitting.
Yeah, I think the original title was like Beneath the Surface or something like that.
Yeah.
And
And that more sounded like a, you know, Snapper based on a short story, you know, Beneath the Surface or something. But
yeah.
yeah, Snapper had more catch to it.
And it sounds like the script, it sounds like it was pretty well thought out, because they said this movie opens with like a truck driving, and it almost hits like a little turtle on the side of the road, and they were going to end the movie with that same guy actually hitting his car into the giant snapper to kill it. So I thought it was gonna have it was gonna have like a cool sort of like parallel type thing.
Yeah, I agree. That'd been a good correlation from beginning to the end of the movie. Yeah, it was pretty cool. You know, it was kind of a similar basis to Alligator. I can't believe it didn't get picked up. You know, because you have Alligator, you've got Crocodile, all those kind of spin-off movies at the time of in the 80s, and then of course it died out later on, but then it kind of came back in the late 90s or about mid 90s.
Well, this was 1989 when they were trying to get it made, so maybe it kind of fizzled out already.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, you might be right. But yeah, because those were like 1980 to 1982 movies. Maybe that's why it didn't get picked up. But then, you know, when about mid 90s came around, I could totally see it coming back into play, and you know, them getting a phone call. But
yeah, because
I mean, look at Sharknado today. You know, it's so popular, but it's so, you know, stupid in the sense that it's hilarious, and it's, you know, got the buzz. When this was kind of more of a serious movie, but yet had that flavor to it. So I totally would have seen it get made, you know. I just don't really know what, but maybe that was the case. I don't know.
Well,
maybe you're right.
In the late 90s, you had stuff like Anaconda and Lake Placid and stuff. So, like, it is kind of weird that this just never got made.
Yeah. And then, you know, the gator in Lake Placid was a lot better than Anaconda's real fast CGI stuff. So them using the practical effects and actual animatronics would have been really cool. It would fell into that Lake Placid. So yeah, you're right about that. I don't know why, you know, then you had the follow up with like Snakes on the Plane and etc. But yeah, it should have got made. I don't know. Maybe those guys need to like re-push it again.
Well, here is the thing. They actually are making a movie right now, because of like the VHS release of their two movies came out in 1990. Days Before Christmas came out in 92 and kind of got them some more recognition. And then they kind of went away for a while. And then I think in the early 2000s, they put out a DVD double feature of Attack of the Killer Refrigerator and Hook of Woodland Heights, which sort of like, that sort of got buzz again. and then they kind of went away again. But more recent years, because of this documentary, the Snapper, the man-eating turtle movie that never got made, this documentary won some awards, and I think it screened at some film festivals, this little like 30-minute documentary. And because of that, they started work on Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2, which will be a feature-length movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they've been filming that for...
Yeah, definitely. The documentary was well produced.
Yeah. John, can't remember how to... I don't really know how to pronounce his last name, but it's like John Campopiano?
Butcher it.
Yeah, John Campopiano. I'm friends with him on Facebook, the guy who made this little documentary. But he also made a Pennywise documentary that came out in 2021. And I think that won some awards.
Yeah, I've actually seen... I haven't watched it, but I actually seen it out, yeah.
Yeah, it's called Pennywise, The Story of It. He made that documentary. And then he also did a documentary in 2017 called Unearthed and Untold, The Path to Pet Cemetery. So he made a Pet Cemetery documentary in 2017, an It documentary in 2021, and he did the Snapper documentary in 2021. So he's made 3 documentaries. He seems like he's probably a pretty good documentary maker, though.
Yeah, I would say so. Just after seeing that one, that was really good. I know the Pennywise one is getting around, definitely.
Yeah,
You know, I've seen it at Best Buy and stuff to buy, and it ain't like obscure or something like that.
yeah. It's a documentary that's like it's got like a good release, a pretty big release.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was watching like on the History Channel, interviews and little documentaries that they do, like little 30-minute ones. But it was highly interesting and just filmed really well. He did a really great job on it, and yeah, he's got a good career.
I'm kind of hoping that because of this documentary, and the eventual release of Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2, maybe those two things will help them actually get to make Snapper finally.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Totally. Like I said, there's only so many like Sharknadoes they can make, I guess. Well, you get Fast and the Furious, but proving me wrong here. But yeah, I could totally, I just wish it would have got picked up. I really do. There's melancholy that it didn't.
There's a trailer for Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2. They already made a trailer for it, and it looks like way more intricate. They made like teeth on the refrigerator, so like when it opens up, it's got these jagged teeth. It looks more like a monster now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the trailer looks really cool, and it's shot. I think it's shot digitally.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's shot digitally, so
nice.
It looks really good though. So like I'm kind of, I think they've been working on that for like 2 years already though. So I'm not sure like when it's gonna come out. So I'm hoping they're able to get that made. And if they get that made, maybe it'll...
Yeah, that may be in post-production of it.
I don't even know if they're done filming it or not. Like, there's not been a lot of information about it.
That'd be cool to see, though. Yeah, definitely have to get on board of that. Yeah, I just really can't believe it didn't get made. You've got bats, rats, all kinds of movies that has just been kind of repeated too. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's never been one of a snapper turtle. You know what I mean? It was just totally kind of original, off the wall. Yeah, you might want to look that up. since someone told me I need to do my research.
So I'm not. Yeah, I don't really see anything else. When I typed in snapping turtle movie, it just shows up with this documentary.
Yeah, see, it's I get the idea that the formula has been done before, but um, there's never been a movie about that. I mean, just kind of blows my mind. No one picked up on it just for the originality of it. Because I mean, when you think about the pressure a snapping turtle does when they bite, and then you think that it was chemically enlarged, uh, so it's like 10, 11 feet long and big. I mean, that's just at that point, it's almost to that alligator level of it's closing its jaws on these people.
So there actually is a turtle movie.
Now they can't be ninjas.
No. There's a movie called The Bermuda Depths. It was a Japanese American co-production. It was a made-for-TV movie that was actually written by Arthur Rankin Jr. of Rankin and Bass.
Oh,
but it doesn't look like it's really a straight. I don't think it's a straight horror movie though.
Yeah, I was gonna say you still got that factor of when you bring up one, you know what I mean? We could bring up 10 things probably on crocodile and alligator.
But there's not much about turtles.
Yeah, and I remember being a kid watching the alligator. I loved that thing. I remember seeing it on TV and then written it on VHS. But I thought it was really cool. Shout Factory re-released it, and you've got more footage in there that was cut from the television version about that time. So it looked like they were going full-blown gore on this. So I think that would have probably topped some of the alligator moments.
Well, I mean, heck, there's movies about killer frogs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bats, rats, frogs, the birds. Other than maybe killer butterflies, but there's just so much out there that
I feel like
that's just so original idea.
I think
because the thing can go back in its shell and not be harmed, or when it's out walking around, the shell ain't going to be penetrated, but it could go back in its shell and retract itself, and then bullets and all that stuff is not going to affect it, which has been really cool to see.
But I think there's several killer frog movies. Like there's at least 2 or 3, I think. So it's just insane almost that there's 3 killer frog movies and no there's no killer turtle movies really. I guess one of the closest things is Gamera, but that's a kaiju movie. It's not the same thing as this,
right?
Because Gamera is a giant snapping turtle.
Great to be killed by a snapper turtle. Maybe you're right though. Maybe they'll get some noticeability. Because man, that documentary was really good. I mean, I was sitting there questioning, and well, wait a minute, this movie didn't get made, but it was so well done by the filmmakers, and then the documentary on top of it, unfolding the story, really made it seem like a big budget movie. I mean, you start questioning, this thing was made or not, It's like, man, I gotta go check this out, or, what have you. But, yeah, maybe that'll get, and it's won some documentary awards, and then, of course, their Christmas movie got a Golden Award. So they're doing the right thing,
But the thing is, they haven't made anything since Days Before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm sure that, like he said, he charged up a bunch of credit cards to get
Yeah,
the, $8,000. So maybe they took a while to get that thing paid off or whatever. I know credit cards interest rates are just horrible. Um,
yeah, that
they've
might
probably
have
been better off just take a loan out and pay off the credit card and pay on the
that
loan.
might
But
have really
I don't know.
actually
Maybe they,
that might have been a big detractor of why they didn't really make much else after that.
yeah. You gotta think they made a trailer with that money, and it was great, high quality. And then no one picking it up, not getting a word back. I mean, I'm sure that was, a nice blow where it was like, okay, well, we need to regroup. We got to pay these bills off before we move forward, and still hoping that somebody will finance it. But yeah, that's probably what they end up doing is just trying to get all the expenses and everything paid off, and then regroup and like, okay, what are we going through now? And I'd like to see what part two, Attack of the Refrigerator entails, because they made that in like college, so it was kind of a spoof thing in a sense, but it had like the great story and stuff like that. Like, I mean, it's one of those movies like Attack the Killer Tomatoes or something you would see on Elvira, movie macabre. Um, I think it had some pizzazz to it, and it's really just disappointing. But I'd like to see that. Disappointing that they didn't get picked up yet, but hopefully they will. I'm sure they can do some more guerrilla filmmaking on the Refrigerator 2, maybe at less cost, and really bring out their talent. I just don't know. One of the actors almost died making the trailer of Snapper, with their shot when he was coming up out of the water. I mean, they went full blown into it. Everybody. It was just sad to see. But I think they'll go somewhere. I do believe after Refrigerator, we'll see more polished creativity on their level, and then I'm sure they'll move forward to something more bigger budget, and just getting back out there again. It's like applying for the same job at the same place. I know my girlfriend was like talking about her awesome job, but she had to apply for it for 10 times before getting it. And, that's maybe part of the game that they're falling into. They're going to have to just keep pushing. That industry is tough anyway, but
Yeah,
I really think that if they just get back out there and re-push it, something will happen. I mean, nowadays too, they've got even more of the streaming services that are making their own movies, so it's not just Hollywood studios that they can appease to.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if they finish Attack the Killer Refrigerator 2 and get it on streaming platforms and stuff, that could really help them out. I know they said they've written 6 scripts that have not been made. So they were still writing, like, even after Snapper and Days Before Christmas, they still wrote scripts together, and they ended up writing 6 complete movies. Snapper's one of the 6 screenplays, though. So there's like 5 other screenplays that they wrote besides Snapper that just never got made. But Snapper's the one that they got.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think out of the 6, Snapper's the one that got closest to being made.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you, the audience, it was a great documentary. You really seen what they put into it. There's a lot of great low budget films and SLV movies that Kody's brought me into. Even down to, which was like awesome. These things were awesome. From you're talking like Spirit Animal, definitely Jason Thunder. Jason Thunder is just hilarious. That definitely has got some charm to it. And that was just, like I said, less money than what these guys put into it. I just I just couldn't imagine. They've got to be picked up somehow. Maybe you see this happen a lot too. Maybe one of the other scripts will get picked up and get made, and they're kind of on the map. And I'm like, okay, and then the financiers will have an interest to go back and remake Snapper. Maybe it's just getting the foot out there with that one movie.
I think that's part of the reason TerrorVision put this Blu-ray out, though, was to sort of help these guys maybe get some more recognition by releasing this on their Blu-ray label.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I just want to go to their house and bake them a cake or something. I mean, I know it sounds bad, but it's like I want to do something for them because I feel bad, even though I had no part in it.
This Blu-ray, though, by the way, is a limited run type thing. So I think there's only 2,000 copies or something. I think it's still in print. So if anybody wants this, they should be quick about it because I don't really know how many are left.
Well, where can you get it at?
TerrorVision's website. So TerrorVision,
okay,
they put out soundtracks on cassette and records. They put out soundtracks for old horror movies, but they got into Blu-rays in more recent years, and this is their 8th release for Blu-rays.
Okay, sweet. So then all the film lovers know to go to the TerrorVision website and pick it up before it goes out of print. Because I'm sure these guys are going to get picked up, and then people are going to want to go get those things, and they're going to be out of print or sold out.
Every time TerrorVision announces something, I just get it. Because they're always limited. Well, they're always limited, and it's always stuff where I'm like, I know it's something I'm going to be upset if I miss out on it.
Yeah, the day they close their doors or Vinegar Syndrome, we'll know that Kody stopped buying their movies.
Well, Vinegar Syndrome doesn't really work with TerrorVision as much anymore. TerrorVision kind of went out on their own. They do self-releasing now.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying that you just buy them at random, not even seeing them or anything. You're just like, oh, I'll buy everything from them. So I was making a little joke at you that they would go under if you stopped buying them. Not that they're not popular or nothing, but
yeah, TerrorVision was one of Vinegar Syndrome sub-labels, and I think they kind of moved out from Vinegar Syndrome, and they've been self-releasing. They've done 2 self-releases so far.
Yeah, I haven't followed them or nothing. So you're definitely top notch on your research. If anybody wants to know why I'm keep poking him with the word research, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and I see this YouTube thing about maybe Netflix picking up to release the license to get the rest of the Snyderverse made. Long story short, I'm throwing out all these little stupid possibilities, not really doing the math on it, but I'm just so hopeful that it happens, and I know it won't, but still got to believe. Anyway, so I text my buddy Kody, and he's just man, harsh. He's like, no, listen, blah, 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 blah. And then the 5th text message, he sent a separate message just for itself that says, do your research. And it's okay, damn, sorry.
Well, so Warner Brothers,
you're serial today.
Warner Brother doesn't own the DC characters, but they own Zack Snyder's Justice League, the movie itself. So no other company can make a sequel to their movie.
Right. They have to greenlight it to do so.
But
I had my math and figures mixed up, but I was just almost kind of just pushing it out there, I would, and hence why I said I'd lose my shit with joy, because it's almost impossible this will ever happen. But maybe they could do it animated. I don't know. I would still totally be on board for that. But yeah, he crushed my dreams at 3 a.m. Do your research.
But yeah, I don't know if
back to pulling it back to Snapper. Man, there's just you know as well as I do, there's just a lot of stuff out there, and with streaming services like Tubi, you find stuff that you never even heard of or seen, and not to knock them or nothing, but the quality and art craft that went into Snapper just for that trailer, these guys were going to go 120% in. I mean, it wasn't going to be cheesy cutaway scenes or what have you. And even the producer and director was like, after they shot the trailer, they're like, this ain't going to do. This ain't up to our standards of what we want. And, they end up redoing a lot of that. Yeah. And it was just really, they were in 120% in on financing it themselves, which is most of the time they, try to get money raised and stuff like that. And I'm sure some of those movies we're talking about, we've seen on Tubi, they probably financed themselves or somebody helped, raise the money.
Well, I mean, heck, but, I'm getting ready to make a movie.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's just like, man, I just couldn't believe they didn't get picked up. And I know they will, but, and it's just like your movie. Not going to spoil in it or nothing like that, but man, that's a great concept. It's just totally awesome. With all these remakes and reboots and everything, someone needs to pick it up, it's just like your movie. You just don't have those kind of fresh stories anymore.
But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this. So if you want to wrap this one up, we can start doing that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm over here in sorrow anyway. They didn't get made. I think I've said that like 10 times on this podcast. So if the viewers watch it, every time I say something about can't believe it gets made, then you got to do a shot of drink. And go watch the documentary of Snapper, the man-eating turtle that movie never got made.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend people just like pick up this whole Blu-ray right here. Cause like this
it's a little blurry, couldn't see it.
Yeah. There's the Attack of the Killer Refrigerator. It's because of my background. Yeah, Attack of the Killer Refrigerator, and then on the back there's a Hook of Woodland Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool Blu-ray. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. So, all
right, man. Thank everybody for watching.
If you guys like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this with others. Stick around. There's gonna be more episodes to come, and there's previous episodes from that we've already done that you can watch too. So there's plenty of content already. So, I mean, this is episode 14.
Mainstream movies, low budget movies, SOV movies. Yeah, Kody definitely covers it.
Yeah, because I don't know. I just like movies in general. I don't care the format really.
Yeah, and even the documentaries and stuff. Some people are like into one or the other, but yeah, you got a lot of great material. So yeah, keep watching.
Oh yeah,
you never know what you're gonna get.
There's definitely gonna be more documentaries on here too at some point if we can keep this thing going.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's some great stuff out. Yeah.
Like I'm open to watching anything.
All right, everybody.
So yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.